So as an educator, a question that I often ask myself is, what does it mean to really know something? And I think there's actually about 4 levels. I think the first level is just the knowledge of how to use it. So if you were driving a car, this would be the knowledge of how to turn the wheel and press the pedal. But for JavaScript, it's perhaps the knowledge of just using the basic functions, or maybe you copy and paste some code from Stack Overflow. It works, but you're not really sure why it works. If that's you, I think that's level 1. Level 2 is, I think, to be able to joke about a subject matter. So to be able to joke about something, you've got to be pretty confident and knowledgeable on the subject matter. So take this tweet, for instance. I love this tweet. I think it's hilarious. But only if you know about the issues with the this keyword in JavaScript. If you don't, then it just goes over your head. The third level is, I think, all about judging others. And this is all really about interviews. Do you know JavaScript well enough to be able to interview other people? See if they know the subject matter to the same depth as you do. And the fourth level, I think, is to be able to teach it. Because to be able to teach something, you not only have to know the topic itself, but also the surrounding topics. Because you can get asked a question on anything. Not just the hows and the whys, but also the history of that feature. How did it get to be the way it is today? So my modern JavaScript workshop at FrontEnd-Con is designed to take you to level 3, to make you confident enough so you can interview others. I do this not by going broad, but by going pretty deep, actually. And it's a hands-on workshop, very, very practical, where you're going to learn through a mixture of about 50% lectures and 50% lab-based exercises. And we're going to be covering modern JavaScript. So we're talking ES6 and beyond. Now, we're going to start off with the basics, so variables, types, equality, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Then we're going to start covering some of the newer features of ES6, such as destructuring, the spread and rest operators, which are just quite easy to understand, but also incredibly useful. I use them all the time now in my JavaScript. And then we're going to cover looping, not only the different looping mechanisms that we have right now, but why do we have those different looping mechanisms? What are the issues with each of them? Then we're going to cover scopes. So we're going to cover the different scopes a variable can have in JavaScript and how to manipulate those scopes. And this is, I think, one of the areas JavaScript differs the most compared to other languages. It's got lots of gotchas. So we're going to cover things like the block, the global, the function level scope, and we're going to cover exactly what a closure is. We're also going to cover object orientation. Of course, we're going to cover object orientation. But you might be asking me or saying to me, Asim, ES6 now has a class keyword. We don't really need to cover object orientation in that level of depth anymore. And what I'll say to that is that class keyword is just syntactic sugar over the old ES5 object orientated mechanisms that we had. So we're going to have to dig deep here, right? I'm going to have to explain the ES5 mechanisms so you've got a solid grounding of how the ES6 mechanism works. And then we're going to start covering some more advanced topics like event loops, tasks, and microtasks, which is the underlying eventing mechanism of JavaScript. And then we're going to cover even more advanced topics like generators, promises, and the eagerly anticipated async await keywords. So who is the ideal student? So perhaps you're somebody who's working on a legacy framework for perhaps a bit too long. You're scared your JavaScript knowledge is a little bit old and you want to become relevant again. If that's you, then this workshop is perfect for you. Maybe you're somebody who wants to upgrade your JavaScript knowledge because you plan to use a modern framework like React or Angular or Vue sometime in the near future. Or perhaps maybe you're like me, maybe you're somebody from a server-side background. My history is C++, Java, and more recently Python. And one of the struggles I had when moving into JavaScript for the first time was how to map those concepts into JavaScript. And I think this workshop will really help you with that as well. So that's it. I hope you can join me at the workshop at FrontEnd-Con, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.